engagement, but I love where Pandacat and Arco are positioned. They know where Cubo's going to be. It's on that right side wall in their perspective. So let's hang out on the left side. Let's make it harder for them to blink engage. The one thing they need to be worried about is making sure they aren't grouping up for either Hurwin's damage or something.
That's pretty fucking good.
Nice play there from Polar Bear. Mike finds a sick hammer under Hurwin. That brings him low. Fine, okay, goes right to the back line. Can't get the execute. Has to ult defensively. Has to watch out for Hurwin's ult. He walks right into it, but they do get the left side Phoenix either way. Hurwin may have gotten fine, but Rival got the Phoenix.
Man, I thought he saw it for a second.
Walked right into it.
He was looking at it and goes, I can make it through. You can think he can make it through traffic, and then he gets flattened by the bus. That is a late game Spirit of the 9 wins. So at least Dignitas gets something going in their favor, but that's a great preview of how long Dignitas has to defend a Phoenix. 3 seconds?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you've got an upgraded Frenzy, Double Hunter, Shogun's Kasari, and a Fashmir on the other team. Bless up. I don't know how you're getting through that.
But I mean, if you're Dignitas, you got to thank your lucky stars, man. That fight starts off with Polar Bear and Mike finding a really nice hammer under Hurwin. And if Hurwin gets forced into his relics that early, gets taken out by low committal CC like that, then that's a recipe for disaster for Dignitas. That honestly could have been a whole lot worse.
Poor pathing from Hurwin for sure. He needs to go underneath in that moment. He leaving himself so far open. Let's say that isn't Fafnir Hammer. Let's say that's an Uller Axe. He's dead.
Yep.
That spot. I mean, he's got to be more cognizant of that. He redeems himself with a big ultimate because let's say Final K doesn't die in that spot. He's got upgraded teleport. He's coming back with enhanced Fire Giant. It's a bad spot for Dignitas.
It's not surprisingly smart, but you need to be like in the meta personality types. Do you think between the ENTP and ENT giant, the difference between the actionable instead of laid back, efficient instead of you can really see it's a very typical
Dignitas might be able to find a little bit more. Rival sticking around. Pandacat backpedaling might
like Aggron.
There's a whole bunch of people in the jungle potentially waiting for them. Arkill didn't have the purification beads up. Dignitas knew it, and as great of an advantage, as great as a pro Uller has in the early game where he can bully you out, he can solo kill anybody in the early stages, even through the mid game. The late game, being in both stands puts you in a bad spot.
Scratching.
Able to capitalize on that nicely.
Nice pull back in there from Trickstank. You can see Ataraxia's crits coming through as well. That build online now for him with the Wind Demon and the Deathbringer. That spell's coming for Arco, Captain Twig, and Pandacat. If any of them get caught, even potentially Fine okay. He's got a relatively tanky build, but you'd be surprised. As Rival willing to commit now for the right side, Phoenix forcing Trickstank's hand as well as varieties. The ultimate from Hurwin doesn't find much. Fine okay puts Trickstank into the dirt, and Rival now with a 5-on-4 advantage can threaten the Phoenix. I say 5-on-4, but Arco's not here.
No, he's not. It's going to be a little bit before he's here. It looks like Rival realizing the Cubo's back with Blink, with Ultimate, and no relics up for Pandacat, no CC immunity available. Desert's Fury is on cooldown. They decide to back it up. That's a good idea, but I like Rival's game plan there. Dignitas is pushing. We see teams do this all the time. Let's push the opposite side. We know we've got a little bit of time. They're not going to try and push 5-on-4. They'd be crazy to do so. Well, you've got fire waves to worry about, and you're pretty far. As soon as we see you on a wave that's engaging you, especially a god like Susano, he doesn't clear that well. He's going to need to use every skill in order to do it. Clear a fire wave quickly enough. Even if you get back in time,
think about TF2. No Australians pissing shots and throw at people. Jarate. There's been more than 10 million bottles of piss thrown at each other throughout.
They'll be giving this one more try to break the base with that added advantage, as you eloquently put, of that left side Phoenix being down. It'll respawn in just
I think made sorry.
Still
yes, he did.
For at least a little while, and Rival can play that very well. But in this draft, who's the member that you break off from the rest of the team? Is it Fine okay? I don't know that Captain Twig on the hop walk can do the same job that some other junglers can.
He doesn't, because it doesn't have Polynomicon. That's what you need to be pushing towers. I don't expect Twig to get Polynomicon unless that's the whole game plan behind it. So it's definitely Fine okay. But Fine has been a big part of their initiation.
Yeah.
He's the only one with Blink that can actually tank a little bit. Captain Twig is there to blink in and finish somebody off. So I don't know that Rival is really going to go for that 4-1 split. I think with Dignitas, I mean, Cubo Fred, he's got Heartseeker, he's got Titan Spin, he's got Magi's. He can 1v1 anybody at this point. So I'd be looking to defend 5-on-5.
Maybe that's the call here from Team Rival. They're all grouped up on on this left side. Phoenix with fire minions in tow. Trickstank finds next to nothing with that ultimate as he makes his way in. And this left side Phoenix, remember, is the weakened one, so an easy one to take down. Variety blinks to the back line, but Rival already. Variety locked down, barely makes that with the Lawbringer, but Dignitas Phoenix in favor of Rival.
And now they can transition over to mid. Frenzy was used by PBM, and that's big, but he still has his ultimate.
My goodness.
Huge boost in DPS.
I don't know how much it's going to matter. Look at this mid Phoenix, it's already low. They're able to stick on it, his Arkle in particular, and that's the mid Phoenix now down as well. Captain Twig has speed forced out and left, but they've got Trickstank locked down, not enough to find the kill.
Oh, but Variety now in a bad spot. Twig still has that ultimate, holding on to it. Great patience.
Very patient from Rival. It's been 30 minutes and 49 seconds of patience from this Rival team. No reason for them to break now. Instead, they'll go ahead and take the full retreat at this point. Dignitas hold on to their base, at least just barely here at this point.
I mean, Rival still has a good amount of time on this FG. They can afford to back by, get some relics back up. I mean, PBM still wants to get that Frenzy up and rolling. With Frenzy, it is impossible to deal with this siege. And that's such a big key against a Kukulkan-based composition. It's kind of the running joke that Kukulkan's at his best when he's losing because he's so good on the defensive. It's so hard to break a base against him because he can clear from such a safe distance. It's so hard to get past that area denial. None of you
pretty funny.
Stand in that whirlwind without taking a ton of damage. Who cares about the minions, bro? Let us go in. We've got a Fatten here. We've got a Frenzy. We've got Coerce. We're good to go. This is before Enhanced Fire Giant. This Fire Giant's a regular version. Let's say the Dignitas are able to hold in this spot. The next Fire Giant the Rival would get would ignore backdoor protections even without minions.
Exactly right. This exact strategy from Rival is only going to get better. But Cubo Fred found himself a target. Responsive Captain Twig.
So what's Captain Twig doing?
Picks him up, and Twig is really low in the back line, but no one else can get there. Great peel from Panda Cat to keep him alive. But what about Bino K on the right? He has to use a little bit defensively. Dignitas have them fractured.
Panda Cat's going to be the first to go down. Bino K in a bad spot. Has Blink, though. And Variety's going to try and keep it going.
Yeah, Variety's foot's on the gas. Finally turns things back around. But Dignitas, after being punched in the mouth all game long, seem to have finally found a point where they can make some defenses. And that's Cubo Fred making a play, man, finding someone in the jungle.
That's what you pick Susano for. Those late game playmaking moments. He's able to find Captain Twig in the jungle. And even a late game Hopwa really cannot afford to 1v1 Susano because Susano's damage is fast. It is quick. And so is he. Hopwa's damage has low cooldown, but you still need a couple casts of that water hands in order to get it done. Susano can play your ult really nicely. Good luck ever hitting him with a knockup with all that mobility, and he's doing just as much damage as you. This is what this composition needs to do for Dignitas. Let Cubo feast in the jungle on a backliner. Put him in a bad spot. And let Hurwin just be that base defense guy. Jingwei, Kukulkan, super hard to siege against. They just take up the whole lane as far as areas you can't walk. 90% of it covered by Whirlwind, 10% covered by Persistent Gust. No way you're getting it.
Makes things real tricky now for Team Rival, but the question becomes at this point, I mean, is that just a good individual play by Cubo Fred, or how does he have a target isolated there in the jungle in the first place? Rival have to make sure they're not too split up.
First time I can say this all game. Good work.
First time we had bad mental health and really bad anguish, anxiety.
And they've been able to use that effectively to their advantage. Looks like.
But I wasn't nervous. I wasn't socially insecure. Not that kind of anxiety.
And I mean largely has been in control of Rival.
It's like feel like you're in traffic all the time. You're in danger.
Bouncing back on the door.
You
Yes,
get
they
hit.
left in mid Phoenix, but they did not break entirely, finding the picks, pushing back up against Rival.
And this is what the Kukulkan is there to do.
We need to be some
when you got those
focused on the nervous about like performance and future and grades, and I took it so seriously. You know, perform so bad. I had good days and bad days.
On the defense, he still does everything he's ever done.
On the good days, I went really far, like I was bipolar.
Break the base against a Kukulkan draft. Especially with late game Susano.
I was also hurt.
Now Rival needs to find a way to find
with a setup me being
Tank has gotten tanky enough to even through that Sunder he might end up surviving.
Yeah, not
really
stream.
To find a good hammer, get that Sunder off, and then hope that Rival's carry.
This is a nervous wreck, right?
To deal that damage. Both Variety and Cubo have done a great job of getting in the face of Rival as soon as Mike tries to initiate.
Rival now in position around the FG yet again, looking to see if they can lock down Variety on the left-hand side. They do, but they don't find a whole lot of damage as a result of their trouble. And the big crits coming through from Adder.
How did that even work?
Starting to put down the hurt.
Hebo is tiny.
Twig forced out of this fight entirely.
Yeah.
And Dignitas is almost both
It's like a Victoria's Secret
They might be the
model.
ones on the advantage on this Fire Giant now.
It certainly looks like that to me, man. Dignitas waited patiently all game, and now all of a sudden they're the ones on FG with the Kukulkan ult to secure. Keep your eyes on her when this fight is positioning. And
Well, she got really melancholically deep depressed to levels that most people can never go and feel that kind of things ever. Don't even know it exists. I was 16.
But at the same time, they have a relic advantage in that moment. I'm surprised the Dignitas don't try and force that a little bit.
Maybe I haven't even recovered yet.
Their defenses have been strong.
Completely.
Perfect. I mean, they've lost.
It's
Phoenixes
spooky.
already. You'll see teams give up Fire Giants because they know they've got a good chance on the defense.
It's being a dark world you never get out, you know? Dark dimension. Does that help? Yeah, I can talk about this if I want to Twitch chat. People aren't weak because they get. I mean, I'll see you get through 3 miserable events 2 days in a row.
And I hate that.
People who are low EQ and IQ, like grunts, who have no defense against other things that can happen, just overwhelms them instead.
There's a Hopla and 2 Hunters hitting it. That leaves Herwin out to dry.
And there's a Desert Fury from Pandacat as they spread the pain around a bit. Ataraxia has now been removed. That's it for the last remaining healthy Phoenix on the right-hand side. Mid and left should be made.
I don't know, it was more like textbook bad mental health.
Only 3 members up trying to defend against 5.
Found Twig with that knock.
They're going right in.
Oh no!
Captain Twig drops the ultimate, but they found one more kill as Arkle shows up for him. Titan down hell.
Just never had a different perspective about difference of Iron, kind of like an Iron Man completionist. Kind of keep try. I'll try or I'm gonna die kind of attitude, which seems to be immune against all the easy forms of bad mental health. I like maturity giving you a top perspective instead.
We can count how many big ultimates Herwin hit last game on one hand, probably on 3.
Twitch just seems weak and a pussy. You can stop pretending now. I'll kick you out.
Fingers, I mean, there was the one nice ultimate, but Final Kick kind of walked into it, right? On the left-hand side, you're right.
Seems like a stupid troll.
Ultimates weren't a huge part of what Snoopy did, as now Trickstank aggressing the enemy jungle. Meanwhile, so is Polar Bear Mike. Dignitas have given up their own jungle, and
Who are you against a unit so genius as me? You think about that. If you don't feel bad, then you're stupid. Then you don't feel anything, you know?
There's no way he out-secures Kibo Water Cannon. But it's all about just making sure that you're chasing the jungler around, slowing down their pace of farm, making them double split or triple split where they don't want to.
Red buff, same thing happening here. They are able to out-confirm, but as you said, has to be done between Twig and Pandacat, though that is fairly standard. But hold on then, Dignitas moving into the Chaos side of the map, and they'll grab the purple buff. Arkle seasoned enough to just give that one up.
And that's because of Kubo's path.
With wisdom, I realized that, like, he shouldn't put people in wrong direction. Shouldn't say wrong advice. Try to keep others from getting ahead. Yeah.
They know that started fairly safe and Final K, but wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if your jungler does the same thing 2 games in a row to the same strategy, start thinking about ways that you can abuse that heading into game 3. Wouldn't be surprised to see Final K maybe start at red with a teleport, try and stop Kubo from getting any farm whatsoever.
Looks like Final K.
Yeah, I have much more to say. This is pissing me off. The presumptuousness. The one is weak and stupid is you. You know?
I heard them on the desk saying that the competition was a bit control light and that they might want something control heavy for Polar Bear Mike. It goes with the Cerberus. Does that fit that bill enough for you with just the ultimate?
I don't think think if you're looking for pure control, that the Cerberus isn't enough. No. But I don't think that Rival really is that control light. I mean, everyone on their team has a really good CC that they can confirm nearly by themselves. And you've got the option of adding more damage into Captain Twig. Totally highlighted on the desk. Ghastly Breath, still an absolutely bonkers ability at making your magical carries do more damage. I like that in conjunction with the Habois. You've got insane combo potential with that Stygian Torment into damage from, well, everybody on your team. I think the Cerberus pick is one that is high execution, difficult to maneuver, and hard to maximize. A lot like Fafnir. Turns out PBM's pretty good at Fafnir.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be just fine on this Cerberus.
But it looks like the Cerberus doesn't warrant that same Sunder like we saw from him in the last game that he likes a lot. This is going to be the Blink instead. And I got to imagine that's around the Stygian Torment. It's such a good initiation. All those big circle ultimates are, like Wrath of Terra and such.
Sure, but he also has Sunder basically built in for Captain Twig with that pen from Ghastly Breath, so he doesn't need to double down on that. Plus, it's very difficult for Cerberus to close that gap.
What's he pretending to say something that's stupid?
Safe to jump in because he can transform, jump back out if he needs to.
2 seconds level 2.
Cerberus, you're committed once you're
Jumping in.
This is another thing that happened a lot in game number 1. Captain Twig is ganking over here on the right-hand side. Even when he's not ganking, he's showing presence. Trigstank's here as well, so they're evening up the numbers. But in comes Polar Bear Mike. Even the backflip expended already for Panda Cat to get to this fight sooner. But not a whole lot coming from that one. They already dropped the buff.
Perfect timing, but look at where Cubo Fred is. He might find Arco is trying to back on his own purple.
And he could be in some trouble on the left-hand side. Arco finds the jump. Overhead kick immunes it, but he can't commit to the tower dive, and Arco barely makes it out of that one.
Man, if Fred is just level 5, that may have been first blood, but that start is really what changes it. Imagine this whole scenario, but Cubo's able to go speed to backs to blue. He's probably 5 in that instance. The fact that he's not able to get there and get that play made, largely credit to PBM in the way that he's forced that sharing. Just as Trixtank has for Captain Twig. Captain Twig in your typical rank game would probably be level 5 right now. These starts that shut down the junglers that make it hard for them to reach that metric.
Maybe we should make the support able to get if he has a support active starter. If we get wave share bonus points while traveling between lanes.
This time, it is slightly favoring Rival, but Dignitas doing a much better job of holding onto their jungle and holding onto those red buff spawns.
While traveling between lanes, I'm not getting
This is a much better look,
either while I'm not getting bonus gold, he should be able to get bonus movement speed.
Just at level 5 for Panda Cat, he's going to be able to use that ultimate without ever rotating.
We see us movement speed.
Now level 5, he can maybe rotate a little bit earlier than what Variety would be able to do. He's got better lane clear and more movement speed on the Amaterasu. I think Rival, now that they've hit 5 on a lot of their major characters, on everybody now, has a much better right now fight than what Dignitas has.
I do think it is worth noting, though, that it is the on her over there on the left. At least I was on the belief that they might want to run that back for Panda Cat again with this on her. World Weaver is plenty relevant from the left side of the map anyway. You don't necessarily need Neath in mid, but they choose to make this call here. You like it?
I do, because they want...
The one is made out of 2 kinds of men.
I soloed you every once in a while.
The people who use insecurity to make other people insecure about being a man and going like a ball backwards. That was a big ball forwards.
That is the best news that any Rival fan could have.
Yeah. And they're putting pressure on the right-hand side of the map as well as Variety a bit low underneath the tier 1, but not quite.
So what you should do is not respond to that, right? After being expected to
Early pen boots pickup, baby. More damage than you're ready for. Cooldown boots are all the rage these days. Who needs flat pen? Everybody. It makes you do a whole lot more damage, and Twig puts it on display perfectly right there. Getting Variety and
immaturity, it's a lot about not being triggered by things. Oh, I don't have enough money. I'm looking at this capitalist who tells me that I can get more money for certain politics. That's definitely a trap, at least. Shouldn't feel insecure about. And if you don't mind talking about whatever, now you're the one who can't handle things. Twitch chat.
I mean, look, Twig makes a big play on that right-hand side, sets Variety behind, but good identification by Dignitas. No fear from Trixtank despite the early death.
You're not fat people. Be very insecure about how they look. Fall trap to bullying.
kill, but now they're going to deal with Cubo. Fred, he's already made the leap in. No ultimate available. They're going to keep on surging, but some backup comes from Heroin. But that doesn't deter Polar Bear Mike when he's feeling himself chasing down Cubo. Fred, that's the support.
I think both buff and fat.
There's no way Mike.
It's very different.
He's got to sacrifice himself, but it's worth it, man. Support straight out for a jungler. Wow. You know Mike's.
I don't think I have a good way to say this, but I'll try.
That's the overarching
It's like
right? Support for jungler. Which one of them is level 7? It's
trying to hold on to your like whatever, you know.
He is the more valuable member, but there's something to be
Doesn't matter how how I look or whatever. I'm ugly now. HD. That's another bagel.
No apparent reason, you know, but it still pumps the whole team up.
It can go very deep.
I'm sure
Feel not worthy.
Yeah, I would describe that as the literal opposite of hitting a man in the head with a helmet. That play there, a nice one from
So it's not too touchy-feely shot. I'm just talking about whatever.
It's Captain Twig aggressive, gets away from the control from Trickstank, makes it back to the tier 1 tower. No more lockdown, but keep an eye way on left.
I thought I'd be the toughest, but in one way, I'm most ashamed the deepest about being fast. I can see it in the mirror.
Between game 1 and 2 so far, so Dignitas has a lane that they can lean on a little bit. It is this left-hand side where Ataraxia has a little bit more pressure.
What was that?
Getting at least some degree of farm in his favor.
It's surprising.
Problem is, though, I mean, Cubo's still really far behind. He's still down a level to PBM.
As far as people can taunt you and hurt you and offend you, you go as far as far I feel it, you know. That's one way to look at it. One way is just really being hard ass and not caring and being cheeky and laughing about the angles in the mirror, the hot doggy. Additional hot doggy. That's probably it. I could definitely go like, you know, whatever, you know, it's just, I'm fat now, I can lose weight.
But as I was saying, I'm not a huge Cerberus fan, but Polar Bear Mike, he's going to hit all your abilities. He looks real good.
It's that execution threshold that's hard to hit.
But interestingly, what did I say that 2 times?
Does have the ultimate available, won't pull in Polar Bear Mike. He uses stitching and torment, and Panda Cat's on the way. There might be a turnaround here.
So is Cubo on the other side. One heroin down to
Captain Twig is another kill.
We've been talking a lot about Polar Bear Mike. Captain Twig is clearly feeling himself too, and I wonder if that is the PBM effect a bit. That
people don't even get a blink on Evo. Oh, come on, Cubo, you gotta have some patience there.
He dunks in over the top, and Panda Cat continues to run.
Low damage.
Nothing to lock him down, but there's 3
also, he's behind.
Polar Bear Mike and the rest of the squad coming in and try and back him up.
Okay, I'll kill. I'll kill. No, I'm not talking too little about the game. Smart people can have great descriptions and don't go lengthy about things. Maybe I'm better off without a Twitch viewer here. Alright. See if we can get other Twitch viewers later. 5 minutes. He tries to set up traps to make me say things.
God forbid you let Mike start feeling himself, man.
I know stuff that someone just points out, people doing socially things wrong, face insecurities to make people evolve or degrade backwards. I kind of feel that makes you tight and fearful of greater things like geopolitics.
And I like the fact that Panda Cat's just letting these ultimates loose left and right, man. This is the way you got to be playing Neath. If your ultimate's on cooldown for more than 45
do whatever I want.
Someone's messing up on your team or yourself. You're not firing that off absolutely all the time.
But like I said,
so less CDO.
I wouldn't miss be having such much spare energy, which turned out to be pretty useful. And operatic, brutal voice, growling death metal and singing.
I thought for sure he was going to blink in at all.
But they've got to be careful on the left-hand side.
It's exactly what those opera seems they're looking for. Proved many times. That's a kill! Double, oh my god, what the fucking WC moment.
Huge from Heroin because the Arceal is really
It's over.
Still, even despite being 3-0 before that. Heroin gets some momentum going. Big play by Arceal.
The scout was right about the power level.
Heroin, man. Not a lot of setups.
I don't know, whatever.
And he's able to get it that time. Knows that Arceal had limited mobility options in that spot. Gold Fury now low. And Trix Tank on the way to try and slow this one down. But one Xing Chen up against two. No hope. No chance. Gold Fury there secured by a rival.
And that's that space created.
That's how you should play with Kukulkan. I don't see a lot of people like Kirby in there going for those. Let's go for the melee ult, then only you can kill him. Shouldn't have used auto attacks. Should just let the tornado finish him off.
But Dignitas don't know that.
Here was a lot better though.
Shows up and postures aggressively around Gold
He grew like an naughty cactus.
There's no way
In a post office.
Twig was on the way.
Just an office. Drag office.
I think if Dignitas had that information, they would have stuck on that Gold Fury and tried to secure it with the ultimate. With a lack of board vision, again, coming back to hurt them.
They've just been on the back foot
I don't make it seem very manly, because the opposite of letting people in insecurities is being like sensitive and allowing people meant to feel. Even manly, for example, and smart and strong and deep feelings, yeah.
For me, XP differential, 2 levels for Fine OK, 3.5 for Twig in his favor.
Trixtank trying to make something happen in the jungle, doesn't find it. That red buff now belongs.
As they always say, those 30% of men who are highly sensitive people, HSPs, actually have a need to talk about their feelings. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, you know?
That's not really worth it. It's keeping farm out of Ataraxia's hands at this point. That's the one area that Dignitas have a lead right now is around Ataraxia.
Okay, good. No, they're doing it. All right, Fire Giant being looked at 13 minutes, 45 seconds. This might be a bait. No way they can burn this.
It's making me feel very complicated. I feel like you don't fit in the world.
So it's Trixtank. They drop the objective. They want the fight, but Polar Bear Mike can't find the paralyzing spit. So they overcommit underneath the tier 1 variety low. Desert Fury.
But if you shoot it away, you realize you want it back.
But the fact that Dignitas is so far behind means
their tendencies
are going to be to go towards farm. As soon as Rivals off Fire Giant, Heroin and Cubo go, okay, let's go mid and push this because we need that minion wave. And Rival just keeps their foot on the gas pedal, keeps on going to that right-hand side. No rotation in from Dig.
And they'll come back and set up the Pyromancer, probably what they wouldn't have minded in the first place. Now Dignitas at the very least get the tier 1 in left, tier 1 in mid. Very nearly Nate's able to find that tier 2 in left as well. But a good rotation from Fine OK to slow that down. Dig are getting the scraps, the little bits that are left behind, but this is still mostly Rival.
I mean, Cubo is just on the run all game long. He's still down to PBM in farm so far. He's down a level right now and just has no way of out-trading Mike, especially with this Stone of Binding. This was such a key pickup on Cerberus when he was meta, was this Stone of Binding. It just means that your 2, which is already absolutely bonkers, huge slow, huge prot shred, good damage. Now it's just that much more because you're adding even more prot shred. And it's not just magical this time, you add in a little bit of physical as well. I love this item on Cerberus.
Rival. Looks like they weren't kidding about the FG. They're back over on the right-hand side of the map again. But this is aggression on a Variety. Twig threatening him all by himself. But Variety patient with the ultimate, used it to try and maneuver. But PBM on a killing spree on the Cerberus support at this point in the game.
There we go, right back towards the Fire Giant. Cubo's gonna go on an aggressive path in, and there's no wards here for Rival.
Frenzy's already popped. Trixtank has to come in. Herwin's it's all day, but it's not enough. Rival secure the objective. Trixtank, we're gonna see you in a little while. 25 seconds on the bench, my friend, as Rival find 2 more.
How on earth do Rival get that done before Herwin's ultimate gets there, man? I have no idea. I thought that was Dignitas's for sure. But Rival, understanding that even if they lose fire, it's not that bad. They're still pushing, man. Why not?
I mean, they're pushing on the right side. Phoenix, in comes Cubo. Fred dumps down Ataraxia and Rival. Might have finally been on more than they could chew, but they got the right side. Phoenix, 2-man stun. Variety finds
I'm okay with each of poking with his ult there.
Rival might be out with a Phoenix in tow.
He needs to secure the kill instead of almost get away.
In the ultimate department and XP, how are they supposed to see forward? Rival still has Fire Giant reach out this point.
That's right. At this point, that might be enough of the Twig on Evo experience for me, man. Because he plays it so well. There's really a confidence that he has with it to make that play on the variety. He's been looking sick.
He's been lights out, and I think that's the big pick that Dignitas needs to take away. It enables these.
Once again, don't talk too much shit about players or what I've done or how I know them or whatever. My kid is very reasonable.
First mage, and he does that very well. His early game buff secure is fantastic. Trickstake has no way to
keep track of that myself.
He can easily
If you're too sensitive,
so quickly and get him
it's kind of like, I'm not a man. When people barely mention you, like maybe Captain Twig in SPL, like, you know, that's like, your problem is too bad, he has the crowd's favor.
I don't know if Dignitas know they're trading it, but they are as they take the tier 1 tower in right. And they have decent threat.
Arkill uses one auto attack and go Fury.
As well, but they're gonna back no longer.
That's enough.
Pursue it. Rival at this point up 9,000 gold, and with Fire Giant, we're 17.5 minutes into this game.
I love the pace that Rival's been setting. We're going to Fire Giant. What are you going to do about it? We're going to Fire Giant again. We know you've got better secure than us. Show up. Show us that you're going to be able to do it. And Dignitas is this team that it feels like sometimes they get on the back foot and they stumble a little bit. Their backstep and counterpunch isn't always super strong. Now, this is a team that has gone late very consistently this year. I believe they have the longest average game time.
Captain Twig won't let them get their World Weaver come through, and variety evaporates.
Twig is a nutcase, dude. He's stunned. He knocks up variety to make sure he can't channel the ultimate, so he doesn't get CC immune, so it guarantees.
Oh, hey, Nate. What's up, bud? Waiting down.
I play very similar Hebo, actually. I also have thousands of kills and dual high ranks like Diamond and Conquest. It's like it's spooky, it's eerie. Eerie. Eerie.
Whirlwind there from Heroin is going to put solid damage, but I think this is still game pitch. They've got Frenzy up.
We have a dumb joke. What if the DJ name is Son? Everett. Just like, oh.
No blink for him though, so it's going to be difficult for him to keep this chase going. PBM's a great
the reason I want to share, I used to like be menacing, you know. It kind of makes it okay instead of cringe. You do something stupid, always have a good reason.
Yeah, they're trying to keep them at bay. I think that could have been an end for Rival, but bro, they're up 10k with 2 Phoenixes down. Who cares, right?
This is brutal.
I would say that normally. Placements taught us something else though, that no lead was safe. How many 20k leads got thrown?
Yeah, go ask Hyphen and Sanguine, huh, about this position. They knew how to defend.
And you just said what's up to Bobby like, what, 21 minutes ago?
That's right, yeah.
That's messed up that you're gonna throw him under the bus like
Well, no, they're the ones that made the defense. So
that is true.
But instead, Ataraxia will grab the Pyromancer on the right hand
Turn on
side.
the bus, you can ask, what about the mobility scooter?
I think you
I'm a
have
retired
to
person.
like this, right? Because Rival can just push past you and end. But Ataraxia in trouble. Airstrike allows him to reposition. Well, I know K can't keep up the chase.
Well,
mobility scooter gaming.
We don't know exactly where Panda Cat is. If he's on speed buff,
mobility scooter under bite gaming.
Now, but if he's in Fountain, then I just get stun bite on the way down. It's an awkward sort of situation. Nice game awareness by Ataraxia and timing that one out.
And Rival going to keep up the pressure too. Like I was just asking, how do Dignitas play this because of how low their Titan is?
So the problem is for Dignitas, this.
I want to share a meme with chat. But it won't take too long to find. It's so funny, man.
He knew. When
There it is.
That's a pig! Oh my god! That's really good!
That's really
pretty good.
was also really good.
Well, late as the last one did, because they have Robin instead of Susano. That's a huge difference in late game prowess. I think they had a better shot at defending last game against that lead than they do here.
Oh, there's this trouble. Ataraxia's already removed. Trickstank does throw 3 members back, but they're just on their way. That's a big ult though from Heroin, but it really only finds one. Trickstank locked down and low, but PBM and Final K don't have the damage. There's the dash. They put Trickstank to bed, and now there's just 3. Variety, Cubo, Fred, and Heroin left trying to keep this base alive.
This might be game now, Finch, because there's a fire wave coming in on this right-hand side. The big difference is that Rival does not have Fire Giant, no regen for them. They hold this damage.
Did he not hit Variety? I tell, didn't look like any damage came through, but Final K is on the Titan Frenzy. Popped as well.
Oh, what are you doing?
Do it. Rival commanding
What are you
lead
doing?
Look at PBM feeling himself. They're up 2-0.
Can you blame the man?
Nah,
He did
not even a little.
hard popped on that Cerberus. He instantly just destroyed any game plan that Dignitas had in that. Isn't on his speed buff. That's a good sign for him. I think it is that ability to get those Ninja Tabi early on and be able to chase you down and fight you so well with Pele, even in the early game, that prevents Mike from going for that start. This is a much better look for Cubo. He's able to get his speed buff uncontested. A little bit more normal. I think this is where Cubo has a chance to shine.
And one of the other threads on the desk was, where was this Vamana going to go, right? I mean, Ionic had the initial call that it would be the Achilles jungle and Vamana heading over to the solo lane, so 1 point for him in that regard. And do you think that's the right play here? Do you like this Vamana over in the solo lane for them and how it matches up against Dig?
I do. I like it a lot more than I like it in the jungle. I really thought it was going to be Twig on Vamana.
Me too.
It just feels like a Twig pick, right? Nothing could be normal. But I think that the idea of the Vamana, like, how does Neath or Freya ever get away from you as Vamana? And Final K has been one of the best Vamana players.
Wait, you don't think that really slow, predictable backflip gets Neath away from Vamana? You don't think that would...
No, I don't, considering that
the big
Vamana
follows her.
That's pretty funny, huh?
Slow him if he already ults and he's got movement speed and you are backflipping at, half a mile an hour. No, I think that he's going to be in trouble. Even Ataraxia's Valkyrie Discretion doesn't buy him that much time overall.
Yeah. Unless you can find return kills, a lot of the times it doesn't do enough to get you back out unless you can kind of.
I'm thinking about saying something like,
and I don't know that Vamana,
this caster, he's a large lad, what's his name again? Finch.
Threatened by that, he might be able to just keep right on trucking.
But that's okay, I accept this roundness.
But Final K this season, I think is the overall.
Kind of legendary thing to say would be that
Completely agree. BBM's in a little bit of trouble here.
as always accepted girthy, which means large in this instance. Fat people all my life.
Realizing that Mike's not going to have a good dash opportunity, the horrific's messing him up a little bit. Arco realizes that health bar is shared.
I have an opportunity to think that they are inferior in different ways. Either unhealthy or they're lazy and
I like that you point out that shared health bar. We
but I
don't
never
see a
did.
lot of this duo lane anymore, right? Ataraxia
And maybe now will be rewarded for my
lane together. But remember, PBM and Arco, that was the
diligence, half diligence.
right? It was that PBM really wanted to lane with Arco again after they played at that
It is unhealthy, but as a shape it's very fine, you know.
And I think you saw it there.
100%. That's an old dual lane adage. Gotta give a shout out to my man.
I listened like the best listener.
All the time is that we don't have 2 separate health bars. We got one big one.
Karen
Mike is
ears.
getting whittled down.
Yeah, let's go
Arco
deeper in
steps
chat.
front, absorbs those autos, and
Don't be afraid
does
to
damage
exploit
at the same
deepness.
time. Just efficient dual lane play.
Do you even exist?
Dignitas in the best position
Temporary.
all set in the early game.
Always contemporary
Teams might praise
exist.
them for not being that far behind. This time they're actually slightly in the lead in terms of gold. We'll see if they can hold on to that. We have not seen a lot of these bars up in the blue area for Dignitas this set.
No, we really haven't.
Always procure a pocket watch so you can procure the best loot from time.
Of actual kill pressure and actual wave clear potential on their side for the first time all day. And Rival has to respect that by playing a little bit more safely.
Manicure.
Tank's got to have to be very careful about his position. Even with these tank boots, another Sunder pickup for PBM. So he's going to be looking to Sunder and hit Trix Tank with that abduct. As soon as, especially, we find him in that bear form and he can't find the root.
That's right. I think people forget his Q of Fred used the ult defensively. Wow, that's a lot of pressure from Twig. Then he got that out. But you kind of forget that RDO sometimes...
Yeah, you're gonna be pretty fucking stupid not to delve into deepness. I think philosophical discussions are not done properly by those everyone else that they do it. As most people. Definitely. Basically, I want to say, I don't need you to report and do things related to my other platforms. Do you even know which they are? It's enough that people think these aren't true otherwise.
Great fight around variety side of the map. That's where you want to be fighting. You don't need to be fighting around the mid lane at all. Use that global to your advantage.
Here's a tough philosophy that I adhere to. Things people are differently lucky in life. It's
before he has a chance to get that Scarab's blessing up and ready. Good look for Dignitas. There is a pulse for them early on here in Game 3.
It's good to see, man. I think that maybe we undervalue the time you spend in the air in that King Arthur ultimate because
also, one interesting thing about like politics, which is anti-racist by the way, is thinking that privilege can have a lot to do with the language in the Western world, being about the public and speak English.
Defensively to get away, and Rival ended up giving up first blood the first time this set.
Ataraxia is okay. Captain Twig just a little bit too far away. Even worth noting the Cubo.
What if you never whine about the circumstance? What if you could, in theory, always beat them? Always just give a top upper lip, you know? That would be the strongest version you could possibly be out of 1,000, right? That's Philosopher Nietzsche's best version of yourself.
Sharing a little bit more in lane. Has been on time for his jungle camps, maybe quite as quickly as Cubo. Cubo's also playing a much better clear character in Pele. Pele clears the jungle very well because Magma Rush does a lot of the work for you, not only clearing, but also getting you from camp to camp very quickly. Achilles, not great at clearing the jungle early. His one, the shield, does a ton of damage and basically instant clears buffs, but it's like a 15-second cooldown. Pele's got 2 charges on the one, auto attacks that are a little bit quicker. You've got a lot more options to clear the wave, and I think that is
also need a TJ reactionable philosophy.
They need it, man. They need Cubo Fred to be a difference maker in this game, because so far Captain Twig has just had more impact. Ataraxia hits a pretty sick banish that stops Polar Bear Mike's aggression. But like you said, that Pele's ability to move around the jungle faster and clear gonna be huge, but Trix Tank's already low.
That's not making matter.
Desert Fury gets Rival on the board.
This Thunder is just throwing off calculations left and right. Again, Trix Tank takes
so much on her.
Here, I could come to help. You can't. You just take that extra 20% more damage, and the fact that Mike's using it so early, because you get that 15% of their current HP as true.
Stop nerfing Thunder. It should be OP. Put me on the balance team.
Man, that is perfect.
Polar Bear Mike continues to get it done. A lot of times you see Capri's in the early game take the Blink. Blink Abduct is such a strong tool for these supports. But Polar Bear Mike's showing, man, you can do it with his Sunder as well. A lot of good tools available. I know he died earlier for that first blood, but he's still relevant and even ahead of Trickster.
Surprised that he goes to the Travelers. I think this is to cover that lack of Blink a little bit. Lets him get in range of a few more abducts that normally he may not have been in range for. That Blink has been such a key part of Mike's Kepri in particular. He loves that selection, played it a lot during the year, and really made it look insane to go with a Blink on it. But the Sunder is part of the strat right now, so he goes with a different boots option. That could hurt him a little bit of dot damage on Dignitas, Cubo, Freds, Magma Rush. Trix Tank gonna stack you up pretty quickly with that ranged root. Just wants to make sure he's ready to go.
Erwin waiting with the ultimate charge, perhaps.
I don't like Roman Cola that much as a pirate, you know. As a person who plays Sydney's Pirates, it brings out the worst of Cola and rum, but the sugar might be a good idea actually.
In comes Variety, but uses the ultimate to reposition, but no one's gonna help Polar Bear Mike. Gets the Scarab's blessing on himself, but he's still stuck in no man's land.
Variety gonna clean him up. Final has made the rotation over. He actually teleported into mid to try
I'm gonna buy some rum next time I watch Pirates of the Caribbean with friends.
away the enemy heartbeats. That's huge.
But maybe we shouldn't say that. I hope that person doesn't figure that out or somehow knows that.
Rotation from Variety, and that's what you need your big game solo laners to do. Feel the set slipping away from you. Feel your chances at a world championship starting to dwindle. Put your foot in the conversation, man. Keep the door open.
I also figured out that I'm gonna be putting drop on if I say I wish I put my loot at me like that sub-harmless base player. It's the same into the camera.
Look at the Warriors. Blessing stacks up against this Gladio from Variety. Not competitive in this laning phase so far. That's what frees up for these rotations as opposed to them sitting on their hands in games 1 and 2.
It's so difficult for Vamana in this matchup as well. It's one of the few Warriors that sees play that doesn't have any sustain in the kit outside of his ultimate, but
you can see how that's like, you know, son.
Blink in, knock you up and kill you with some help from Variety. So every piece of damage that Variety puts on to Final K, which is a lot, he's King Arthur, he holds. And that's a huge deal. It's really freed up Variety to do a good job in this lane. That being said, Final K is still even in XP. He's hanging out as much as he can. He's playing this lane correctly.
The best you can with this pick. They're going to be looking not for Final K to impact Variety, but from an impact Atarax and Heroin. You broke that down earlier on in this game. So he's treading water a bit for now. Variety having a bit of a field day, but that could potentially flip as things get later on. But I do like this Brawler's beat stick coming out for Cubo Fred early. They're going to be going into this Achilles and the Vamana.
I have lots of shirts that fits well with the suit compared to like compared to t-shirts. I mean compared to shirts. What is better is my woolly suit though. This one. For tours.
Whoever they choose can't play.
Cat's been hit by the ultimate from Heroin, but that's not enough.
For tours.
Insists on engaging, is hit by the abduct, and in comes the Merlin damage, pulls it back in.
It is privileged golden chance. We shouldn't say that. And I felt like modeling or something, or taking an artistic picture, and I took this one. Looks pretty good, right? I didn't have new streaks then.
I mean, just the mechanics from Panda Cat, the reaction time on the flicker to create enough distance, and then the turnaround kill. He uses his full cooldowns perfectly, change stance, and wait. No reason to throw out those abilities too early. PBM's gonna set you up perfect.
Irwin with the backflip avoids getting pulled, but has to use the beads. As the range to root from Polar Bear Mike.
I'll not have to use those pictures. I don't have anything else before I wasn't fat. To be honest, I'm not being fat. That's all I got, you know. It's okay. I still have others suits as well. It's just they're just worse. They're worse. Ah! That's the truth.
Doesn't have blink. Doesn't have any way to close that gap safely. He knows he can't dash in.
I need to motivate myself. I need to fit in the suit.
Buff, but another good banish. Ataraxia has been really good with those so far. If you all had any questions about if Nate's Freya was going to show up today, it's starting to look like it so far.
Huge, and he's at his big power spike moment too. One of them, the Telkine Spring early on, is a key part of what makes Freya viable right now. Is this big power spike? It's kind of akin to your Doomorb. It makes such a big difference in your power level very quickly. It's expensive, a lot like Doomorb, but we've seen the Doomorb work.
I like to fill my room with art, but I'm starting to realize that art is pretty expensive.
As soon as he hits that hastened ring, he should be looking to make plays. That's
where get like
absolute strongest. As soon as she
a copy of some art on plastic is pretty cheap though, because it's big. Do I have a picture of the latest art I have in my room?
It's a big power bank item. Is that sort of the idea here?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he wants to match that same power spike that Ataraxia has. Now, the counter idea is that you just go Devourer's Gauntlets, you wait a little bit longer, and then you end up getting this huge power spike as soon as you finish Executioner. That you've just finished stacking Devourers, and you've got Exy, and all of a sudden...
I don't! I was so sure that I did!
He doesn't want to get bullied by Ataraxia right now. If you start losing purple because he has Telkines and you've got 20 stacks Devourer's Gauntlets, you won't hit that power spike early enough. This is there to ensure
I'll probably do a
that
picture
Araxia
with sent as a text,
that big
because I
spike.
remember taking a
It's pretty
picture
common that we see this against the physical ADC.
of those two,
massive
for example.
ADC. You just go with the Blood Forge early because they hit their power spike a little bit earlier than you, and you don't want to concede too much pressure in the lane.
Still, though, the best Dignitas has looked throughout 14 minutes in this set so far. Still holding
Their biggest lead.
to about a 1,500 or so gold lead. A little bit less experience, really not enough to call it a lead. The rival might be looking to put a stop to that with a potential collapse, but Hurwind smells it out and starts to run for the hills right away.
I mean, Variety's got Blink, he's got Void Shield. Usually that 3-item mark is where you see solo laners start to want to...
Yeah, try that, you know. Next time you encounter a horse circumstance, don't complain that the journey is long and hunting is high, you know. Try a stiff upper lip.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Dignitas try and start to force it.
But don't get brain damage, and don't get burnt out either.
Than it was before.
Twig has to use his ultimate to get away from the World Weaver from Hurwind. Well timed, but Kiwa Fred not going to slow down the aggression. He needs Fino K in the jungle, finds the knockup. Variety now here as well to slow down.
Knockup and speed's pretty good,
More
man.
damage off the back end, can't find the knockup. He's just looking for Kiwa Fred, but no way he makes it in there.
I mean, just too much damage from Variety. This Void Shield is so much better than the Breastplate of Valor and Start of Runic or on Chile for Fino K. Fino K is not fielding to beat Variety at any point in this lane. He's conceding the fact that he's never winning that matchup, and he's building for the team fight, which is the right idea. When Variety just gets to hit you for that long, it's going to show.
And a bit insistent on that dive, trying to get to Kiwa Fred. Just no world where you catch up to a Pele with the speed buff. Aaron Knight there as well. So a little bit of extra damage he maybe didn't have to take, but in the end, makes out of there A-OK. Still the best position for Dignitas, though, that we've seen him in. Still a lead for Kiwa Fred over Captain Twig. But everywhere else, he's starting to even up experience-wise. It's really just that little bit of a gold lead that separates them. And you seem to think that they should have been able to do better in the early game even than this.
Maybe, but look, when the bar is where it has been the first two games, this is a big difference. I mean, the game was nearly over at 15 minutes last game, so this is a much better improvement from Dignitas. I'm happy with where they are. Their team fight is going to get better as soon as Ataraxia gets that demonic and gets that hastened.
They'll be able to get a lot more out of this Freya at that point. As so far, Dignitas have been able to fight back much better in this game. But there's tools on Rival's side as well. They also have the Brawlers. They also have the Divine Ruin, all in the service of limiting Hugo, Fred in particular, Anna and Variety and Trixie with a good amount of healing, self-healing on both sides of the aisle this time. So I expect anti-heal to actually play a pretty big part.
Panicat and Twig already leading into it as well. And with that Sunder, it just means that your healing is never going to get a chance to go off with this much anti-heal and the Sunder on your side.
Fino K's got to run under duress. Had the ultimate if he needed it, but he didn't. So Rival respond by aggressing in the left-hand side. That's why Fino K's aggressive here. He doesn't want to let Kiwa Fred rotate over. And Rival confirm the gold fury and wipe away the lead at Team Dignitas.
Perfect timing, too, because Trixtech was nowhere to be found. He had just backed.
Honestly, stuff like, if you're gonna be weird at different, be intelligent. There's certain intelligence in being weird, a different perspective, a deepness. But you can't just fucking put an IQ out of your ass extra, you know? For those like Final K I was thinking about.
The Pyromancer and Rival, not local by any means. The Pyromancer will go down for free. A nice response there from Dig. They basically have to come over and do that since they lost that gold fury without really any contest.
And that brings them back into parity a little bit.
No, I wasn't saying Shell was stupid. No.
For the Dignitas boys. They've got itemization coming up. It is a blink for Trixtech, so no use of that arm.
Not going to be helping him out here this
You have to take something back.
Dignitas now in position, considering maybe a collapse in mid, but looks like that won't be the case. Rival have huddled up under that tier 1 tower, so they're just going to fall back for now. Oliver Mike has the frenzy, but really no other big
Seems like a trap.
apart from that, especially in the face of this horrific emblem from Trixtech. We saw it way back in the early game. I wonder if there's a chance with no sprints that this gets a lot of value.
I think it definitely could, because I mean, you look at Pandacat, he's got a small flicker. Horrific will let you catch up to him easily throughout that. Captain Twig is going to be hard for him to get away from that. I think it's smart.
Fine, okay, takes the World Weaver for Twig. I don't know if that was intentional. As they popped the frenzy, they wanted to commit on the Variety, but he still had the blink, which meant they just couldn't lock him down.
That's fine. PBM already has Relic Dagger, so that's a worthwhile trade for Rival. You force the blink out, you make sure that he respects your damage by using a frenzy, and yours is going to be up in a minute. His in 2. That's a good opportunity for Rival.
if Variety ends up being their target later on. No Primal or Pyromancer. I think that's why we're seeing Rival get a little bit more aggressive for these kills too right now. Really not even that much farm that's up on the map. They've just now gone backward as it spawns. So see if you can get Variety, force out some relics. If not, everything's okay. They'll find okay. Might be in danger getting locked down. The root's there. They force the Colossal Fury to come out.
Very smart use of that root, the entangling roots, the cripple from Trixtank. The Jade Emperors makes him do relevant damage in that moment as well. They might try and get a cheeky fire pull going on right now.
I gotta imagine this is more of a bait than an actual commit, but
Last match,
really all in on this fire giant. I mean, we're 20 minutes into this game. Maybe it's a little bit later than it feels like at this point. So they drop the objective instead. Just look for some poke on the final K.
Good idea by Dignitas. You know Final K doesn't have vault. It's worth your time.
So at least see if you can bring him down low. Trixtank stuck in the middle of two. Takes some extra damage. Good damage over the wall from PandaCat as well to bring a couple members low. Trixtank at this point can't really frontline anymore.
Huge stun onto Final K as soon as he blinked in. That would have been a big slow and another good banish.
Yeah.
Blink, support Trixtank, Barrett's just proper.
In that fight for Trixtank. He hits both frontliners. I think he may have hit a backliner at the same time. And he makes sure that EBM has to back it up. Everyone has to be a little bit more wary of how much damage they're going to take in that moment. And it's, as you said, it's already locked in. No sprints coming out for Team Rival. I think they're going to feel that horrific as this game goes on.
I'm thinking so too.
Myth 1 is so janky and slow. It's surprising when you miss 10 years later into the game. Even the best player in the game.
We'll see how it is that Rival tries
That's a fact.
around that going forward. But so far, they've been happy with this somewhat slower pace.
The reason why I don't say, oh, that's subjective, but that's a fact, and you should think instead of feelings. It's just kind of being like something obvious and I put into my back bit of intuition instead.
Definitely a really good late game selection, and you feel like the Neath is going to fall off at some point is the real big differentiator. But I'm looking at a toxic blade that's likely about to come out for Ataraxia. That's when looking down the dive.
There's ways to be annoying and say, oh, that's a fact. It says here, this and this book, and I read that the news or whatever, it's true.
Absolute monster in lane that was impossible to fight against. She would slow you down, speed her.
I don't have to win arguments like that.
Nearly impossible to get away from. I like the idea. I think they need more anti-heal than what they have so far. It's truthfully only the Brawler's Beat Stick. No contagions, no pests.
I like the farm of 3 damage, 3 defense items. It's clear kill, pentakill every team fight. Might be the most efficient killing some laner of all time. They nerfed it though. But it didn't have.
Now remember in this late game, there's a big difference in the stakes for these teams. If this doesn't
beat Freya though.
Rival lose a tough one late game. They got 2 more cracks at this, but Dignitas are on edge, man. They have absolutely got to win this, or Dignitas are going home. Remember, this is Ataraxia's potentially last year. He's already told us he doesn't want this one to come crumbling down like this, so there's a lot of extra premium. The Oni Fury melts, but Dignitas do want the fight on the back end.
They've got a root on a Trixtank, but it's Captain Twig who ends up getting crushed by Ataraxia.
Yeah, he melts. Finally, Dignitas showing us some light here as they find the kill. They've already lost the objective, so they had to at least find one. They're going to need a little bit more, maybe a tier 1 tower or something on the back end to make this one work.
Trixtank needs to be careful though, can't afford to get caught out. I mean, Captain Twig, no match with defense whatsoever. Level 19 Freya, good night. You've got no shot in that matchup. He just needs to be wary of where Ataraxia is at all times.
Twig getting punished. PandaCat in trouble here too. This is starting to become a bit of a nightmare. He does survive the damage way longer than you might have thought. Gets some backup from Final K as well. But that means Trixtank is free to do the dive. In comes Cubo Bread. They left PandaCat with no health, and Cubo melts it.
Now Arculus
Cubo Subway melts.
Put some damage out. Cubo in a bad spot.
But it's going to be Final K continuing the pressure with this Colossal Fury. Nothing like that hasten Kisana, but he cleans up Cubo Bread anyway. Arkle finds Trixtank in the back line, and they might run a little bit more, but Ataraxia continues the with the banishes. Dakota slows Variety down.
No there for PBM, but the knockup, the slow, the Desert Fury. Arkill's got 3 in a row.
Wow, they turned that one around. If you're going to bait PandaCat for 3, then all right, then you every single side. Team Rival take that fight back from the trenches. They were in trouble, and now they might have a chance to threaten the FG. They need Panda Cat. He's a lot of damage on this objective, but Arco can do a lot too.
I mean, you've got the upgraded Frenzy ready to go for PBM, and what, 2 backliners gonna stop you? Ataraxia's gotta go big.
He's gonna give it a try here, finds the 2-man banish, but at this point, he might give his life away. Valkyrie's discretion for the steal, but it's not enough. Rival secure the objective over Team Dignitas, and now they want Ataraxia as well. Scarab's blessing allows them to continue to chase. Knock up from Arco, and they put it down.
4-0-1. Wow, Arco, man, going big when it matters most.
Wow.
Everyone came into this World Championship saying the only question marks for Rival are Arco and Captain Twig.
Yeah,
How have those two done so far this set?
played pretty well.
Played awfully well. They have been huge cornerstones for this Rival team so far. And what was
Intensely playing.
the first 23 and a half minutes.
It's a good name.
Starting to feel the crowd getting behind a Rival once again. The momentum's on their side.
And it's tough, man, because Dignitas, I think, had the correct read that there was weakness in Rival on that left-hand side fight underneath that tier 1 tower. But Panda Cat bought so much time, even though he ends up dying. Fine, okay, is clearly doing tons of damage on this Mamana at this point, too. They bring that one back, man. That was going to be a wreck for them in left, but they salvage it.
And now they've got 5 members of the Fire Giant. Even though Panda Cat wasn't there for the fight, he still was alive in time for the buff. Arkil is a huge momentum player, and he's got all the momentum in the world. He's against Blood Forge Shield after Blood Forge Shield. And there's a lot of gold left on the map. There were 5 towers up when this siege starts. I don't know if there's going to be a single one when it finishes.
They should be able to shred them through. You got to wonder if they're starting to feel the heat under the seats over there for Dignitas now. Their chances
What was
at the
that?
World Championship starting to fall away as Team Rival continue to pressure. But Dig showing some face here around this tier 2. Maybe they want to fight.
Maybe, but Herwind already used the ultimate on a full health Famana who has ult. I don't know.
Fine, okay, blinks right to the back line, finds the knock up and Ataraxia the target. He does get to the sky with the Valkyrie's discretion, but Fine okay is still waiting for him when he lands. Push everybody back. And
I can't believe this game was filled with people who never got cross-bound or Vatalis on Famana. Was so broken for 10 years. Give the best warrior. They thought getting 2 auto attacks in a row was good enough.
Arco's already got 2, but Ataraxia able to put some good damage in. Twig still wants to keep it going. PBM with another
Variety low. Ataraxia all the way back at base, and in comes the teleport. Fine, okay, got an extra life as he threatens
Best teleports
right back at it again.
ever.
Left side Phoenix toasted with ease. Are they going to try and send him home now?
I think that they are here, Aggro. Variety and Ataraxia, all that are going to be able to keep.
I'm gonna try to get to bed a little bit earlier. They're making myself sleep if you marathoning through eating, guess what, peanuts. Now what am I saying? It's
I don't think Rival can do it.
No, they can't. They can't. Variety does too much on the signature.
Pistachios.
Oh, man. With that
One
triple
pistachio
kill,
has as much
and that's a huge defense.
mountain
for
as
Team
you
Dignitas.
How many times, Aggro? How
produce
many
per
times
day.
have we seen Variety
I'm selling you
pull these
pistachios.
heroics on this
Or,
pitch here with the King Arthur?
you know, if you look it up
He
yourself,
seems to do like a rabbit out of
you
a
should,
hat,
if you don't
man.
believe me.
Huge play by him, but a bit of a misplay, I think, by Rival. Panda Cat in
Put more effort into this.
It's a little bit too close together. It
Sure,
felt
whether you
like
wanted
Rival
to or
group up
not.
A little bit too much. And that's the natural feeling. We're death balling onto the Titan. Let's just group up and make sure that we don't.
It works. As soon as you lay down and close your eyes, you notice you're very, very sleepy, you know. It definitely works.
AoE damage on the King Arthur. Huge play by Dignitas, and even though it feels like Rival was just about to end, because they were, it's only a 5k lead.
Yeah, it's not huge.
And now the Phoenix on the left side being down is big. The Fire Giant's falling off Rival.
I proved it before on Google.
You can make a potential defense.
Now remember, that is
I'm gonna stop saying that some people don't believe it, I guess.
play there for Variety to keep them alive.
People are bad at realizing what's true when I say things that are true. Where's your, like, competence and intuition? All people I met before in my life, you know, what's the... Why am I the one that can figure out things are true? I don't figure out anything. I'm very good at figuring out what I think things are true or not. One of the best.
Defensive composition isn't nearly as good as it was in games 1 or 2. You don't have that Kukulkan on your side. Dignitas just hasn't won an outright fight all day.
Yeah.
I don't know what their winning fight looks like at this point. That's the real problem. Whirlwind has been a non-factor on this. He's doing a lot of fire damage, so he's been doing some amount of poke damage, but I feel like the all-in potential for Rival, or for Dignitas rather, doesn't even come close to matching that of Rival.
I mean, Cubo Fred had almost a perfect flank, right? He got to the back line, Panda Cat and Arkle in his sights. The problem is no one else can get back there all game long. So all these relics are still up. Flicker is still up. Everyone repositions, but that's in the past. Right here, right now, Fire Giant starting up here for Team Rival. Oh, look at the damage on that Araxia. Bino K blinks in. Come on back down, buddy. No way you're making it back out. Bino K puts an exclamation point on it by taking care of that.
Oh my god.
Huge res. Cubo Fred still putting out a lot of damage, but Arkrill's already taking care of Trix Tank.
And Variety's low in middle lane. Execute not quite there from Paxton Twig, but I don't think he's done. Oracle gets the kill. Cubo Fred and Whirlwind now, the ones that gotta find some heroics.
Looks like it's going to be the tier 2 tower. Just make sure this Titan is a little bit more vulnerable. Question is, do Rival siege past this Phoenix and go for the Titan right now?
Cubo Fred again on that backline dive, blinks in, knock up, but he can't find anybody. In fact, he's the one who's low. Captain Twig finds one more. Whirlwind pulls finds himself a double though. Polar Bear Mike's out, but Panda Cat Arkle still up at the Dia side. And Rival, they need minions, but that should
Damn, bro.
They're taking the finals on the 3-0.
Your number 1 seed, Team Rival, still undefeated here at the Smite World Championship.
That is nuts.
Has not dropped a game.
Saucy.
It took him a little bit too long to adjust. That game 3 is a little bit more what I was expecting.